It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I wanted to get into a video that I was pretty excited to see within the suggestions on the Discord community, so shout out to DJ Alex for this one. And it's from Flats Clips, where if you know Flats, he plays Overwatch, Rivals, and as you guys know, I also have been playing Rivals and have been posting Rivals content on a separate channel. So that channel is linked in the description. Go give that a give that a sub if you're interested in Rivals content and other stuff around that. But anyway, this one is titled "Why Flats Will Never Play Dead by Daylight Again," and it's not too long, but I wanted to at least give my thoughts on it. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's listen to the Flats situation.
Have you played Dead by Daylight before? They're about to celebrate their 10-year anniversary in just a few days.
That game has been out for 10 years? That game has really been terrorizing people for 10 years? That's crazy. Yes, the answer is yes, I've played it. I will never willingly play that game again, unfortunately. That game scares me. Listen, a lot of people, myself included, talk a lot of shit about Rivals and Overwatch communities, and hell, I've played some gacha games. All of those pale in comparison to how fucking awful Dead by Daylight is. Dead by Daylight makes League look like a welcoming, fun community. I don't know how, but they do. Dead by Daylight is a game where you have to play by the made-up rules, not just by the game. You have to know the social rules. If you don't play the social rules, you've got some guy that's sending a hit on you through the deep, dark web, trying to have someone find your address because you walked around too many times and you put some guy on a hook too many times because you're supposed to sprinkle out the kills. Like, if one guy sucks more than everybody else, you can't go after that guy too much. You have to go after other people. Hell.
So there it is. I mean, that right there pretty much perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with this DBD community in a single clip. I mean, can you believe it? So I wanted to really talk about this situation because I think there's a lot to be said. There's a lot of things that come into play with a situation like this. And somebody as big as Flats talking about it, which has multiple channels with like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of subscribers across like what, 3 or 4 different channels with the Overwatch, like commentary, clips channel, you know, you name it, across 2 different games and stuff like that. Talking about this topic and saying something that I even covered previously when it came down to even Queso, who I really don't watch any Queso at all, but I do understand that a big name like Queso talking about the game is also worth discussing because of the mere fact that the game is simply just not very good. It's not a good game. It has horrendous community. And as you can see, it's beyond obvious that even people who start trying to play the game have talked about it. I've covered it in a previous video. I can't remember which one it was. But I can tell you with confidence that even people that were trying to start playing the game, even around, let's say, even like Five Nights at Freddy's when that came out, they immediately stopped playing the game. People that are casuals that load into the game don't play. Like, they're not interested in trying to play the game. And for good reason. What reason do they have to be playing the game at this point? The community is horrible. The balancing is terrible. You have this weird rule sets, which I've discussed in a previous video as well. A strange rule set of how to play the game. Why? We don't know. There's no reason for it. It makes literally no sense. You can't go for the guy who's the weaker looper because, oh, you know, that means you're toxic and you're gonna get freaking people chasing you down and harassing you across the internet. Like, what are we doing? And sure, people can talk about the Rivals community, and as somebody who has been trying to get into the Rivals community, there are, of course, aspects that are pretty terrible because that's just kind of how it works with like team games and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, it's like, what did you expect? So all of that is really to say that I'm glad that we have other creators talking about how horrible this game is, and hopefully it'll get people to not want to play the game. Hopefully it'll get people to not play this game anymore. You know what I mean? Or at least try to remove people, or at least prevent people from trying to play the game. Because at the end of the day, like, the devs are not interested in providing a gameplay experience. The devs are not interested in trying to provide, like, you know, equality when it comes down to balancing and trying to create a game that is fun for both sides. That's just not a thing that happens. And ironically enough, because they have been so heavily focused on the survivor side, only buffing the survivor side, only updating positively for the survivor side, it's like you're not only neglecting the killer side, but on top of that, you also start to make it uninteresting for survivor players, because people that are not brand spanking new to DBD will sit there and say, you know, I'm kind of getting bored. Like, there's not really much challenge, there's not really much stakes. I already know fully well I'm just going to escape regardless of the match. It does not matter who I'm facing. Or you're facing the same exact characters every game, because the killer players are like, well, I can only play the strongest characters that I possibly can you know, use, because that's the only ones that can keep up in the current meta or can keep up with whatever it may be. So it's extremely difficult to say, like, or even to recommend this game to anybody. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy a lot of the time, because everybody's got a story, especially if they played killer for any span of time. They've got a story. They have something to say. They always have something, and it's terrible. Like, why? Like, the community is horrible. Like, you get harassed if you play killer. If sometimes even on survivor, you'll also get a bad apple. Like, you'll just for some reason get somebody who's toxic on the killer side as well. Although it is a bit more rare, I will say, it does happen. So it's kind of insane when you really think about it. I can't really say with confidence I'd recommend this game to anybody. I don't even play this game in my free time. Like, if I have free time, I'm not on this game. Hell no, I'm not on DBD. I'll tell you that much with full confidence. If you guys see me streaming, you guys know, like, I'm just streaming it because that's what people have sort of subscribed for or followed for on Twitch. It's mainly, you know, because they're coming from that community. But ultimately, like, I care way more for the Rivals community than I do for the DBD community. And now, maybe it's worse on Rivals. Who knows? It can be. There are a lot of bad apples on there too, but I would take Rivals way quicker than I would take the DBD community, because it's next level when it comes down to how ridiculous it is. I mean, the stories go on and on. I mean, we could even talk about how that one developer got harassed for making an offhand joke in a loading screen around the last anniversary about Skull Merchant. If you know, you know. I've covered that a while ago. So, like, if that's not just one perfect example, I mean, there's plenty more. I mean, you could just play killer for any span of time and you'll probably find plenty more. So I want to know what you guys think about the situation at hand here. And do you agree with Flats? Do you think that he completely summarizes the entire scenario perfectly, or do you think that he's off the mark? I gotta know what you think. But let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Cargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.